No, the one you had wrong was Old Town Road, because you were
Oh, yeah.
taking the hose to the Old Town whore.
I'm gonna take my hose to the old town,
Whore.
and I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Hi, I'm Dan,
And I'm Can.
and this is the Dan and Can podcast, a weekly podcast brought to you. Candy will join us eventually here.
I just looking at my podcast notes and I'm confused by them, but I'm not sure what was going on there. But anyways, carry on. I think I meant to put those notes elsewhere, but
So
anyways.
We've taken up residence in our separate rooms so we could be separated, and that way there's no physical violence portrayed upon either of us as we navigate these.
Is that something that we would be doing?
What? No,
Physical
sweetie.
violence?
No.
Maybe get your. Why is your hand look as big as my head? Stop playing around with it. For the people who are just listening and they don't see it, they're like, what the hell is going on?
So hopefully you all got through Thanksgiving with no major trauma. We all hope that went that way for you. As we start now into the lovely Christmas, as you can see in our background, the lovely Christmas scenery behind us. The small town Hallmark movie.
We look like we're people doing the parade, talking about the parade, and we're sitting in the warm booth, and they're like,
well, we should have had that for the
booth,
background last week, just a parade. It'd be like, all right, Can, I think, yes, it's Papa Smurf coming up next. Here we go. And the marching band from. Anywho, so no, we got to get ready because this should start getting you in the mood for Christmas movies when you start seeing a gazebo and a pond. I'm the small town handyman that's lived here my whole life, keeping the farm up to date and trying to make it successful.
We're not doing this.
And you're the big
this.
town lawyer, businesswoman who can't understand why your boss sent her out here to
just
claim
rushing.
this farm.
That's all I care about is rushing around and making money. And then I come to this small town, and amazingly,
you need to slow
life
down.
is so sweet as this.
You need to slow down and appreciate life for what it has to offer all around, the small things.
You got to remember, I have a boyfriend back in the big city.
Yes,
right?
I know.
But he's kind of cruel. He's kind of a douchebag, and you're so sweet. You're this family type of guy,
Yeah, thank you.
Because they all live in the country. They all live in the small town. And all the people in the city are crooks and terrible.
Should have put on my flannel for this. So, getting in the mood, one of your favorite times of the year as you sit down. Are you going to make it through and watch whatever 25 days of Christmas movies?
I don't think I've ever made it all the way through.
No, you haven't, but by golly, you try. You're going to put in the effort. We already got a few.
I might. I've been crocheting more, and I like to keep my hands busy when I'm watching something, so maybe. You never know.
I bet if we go through your save list on Netflix, Hulu, HBO, whatever we got, that there's probably more than 25 movies saved.
Yeah, they're not Christmas movies, but yeah. Why? Is that weird?
No, I'm just saying. You probably got more than enough to choose from.
Oh, and yeah. I thought you were saying it's weird.
Holiday in Handcuffs. You got to watch that.
I like that one. Even though that's like, what, Stockholm Syndrome or something? Yeah, definitely. I just like the actors.
She likes that one, folks. Stockholm Syndrome's what really she enjoys.
Is going on there. But I do like Melissa Joan Hart. And
there's a new one with her out in it.
I just like that movie.
Alicia Silverstone, that you got saved. So that'll probably be up here maybe this weekend for you.
I will watch that probably.
Might be weekend.
I don't watch a lot of the I used to watch more of the Hallmark, just they're all the same.
Laney.
They just
because
they're
you
just
both,
old though. It's the
yeah.
same story.
But Lainey
You got to
loves them
watch it while you're
things.
doing something else. You got to
Lainey,
watch it while you're doing
Lainey
something else. You
loves
can't
them
just watch it
things.
to watch it. She thinks it's funny.
Yeah, she loves them cornball Christmas
Yeah,
romance
she
movies.
does. She'll watch them with me.
She'll pretend like she's not paying attention, but she's peeking out the corner of the blanket on the couch, paying 100% attention to what's going on. So, anywho, let's get to know you. A little bit. Since we're in the Christmas season, all this today is no chat GPT. This is all created from this bald head.
Okay, let's see what this bald head can do.
Name me your most awkward, uncomfortable, weird Christmas present that you ever got.
Go back to ChatGPT, please.
She was saving that. She had that up her sleeve this whole time.
Right when you started talking, I was like, yeah, this is no better. All right, my most awkward. It's not a most awkward because the present was good, but at the bottom of the box was something that was disgusting.
But it's not. It's not just awkward, uncomfortable, weird, whatever.
Okay. Well, I will say when I was starting to develop a chest area, I used to dread my mom buying me a bra in front of my brothers. Like that was like I had anxiety about Christmas morning because of that. Yes, definitely. I'm trying to think if it ever happened. I think it did for my sisters, but they weren't bothered by it like I was. Like the two youngest.
Your sisters just put it on over their t-shirt and they're just like, look.
Yeah. I was terrified of having that. I don't know why.
Purity culture.
Anyways, yeah, it was definitely purity culture stuff. I would say the weirdest or most one that stands out, let's say, it was a beautiful pink and white robe, and I really wanted a robe. And I go to open it, and it's fine. I pull it out of the box, and in the bottom of the box is a dead mouse. Now, I don't know if I've talked too much about how my mom had
So you're saying Santa needed pest control?
Tendencies. I don't know. I think my brother wrapped it and so that means he just didn't even look in the box. He probably grabbed it from the garage.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
But my mom had some hoarding tendencies for sure. Mm-hmm. And the garage would get really full. And she probably kept boxes in there and he probably didn't look in the bottom. And that was disgusting. So, but those are the two memories that come to mind. What about you?
Well, I remember it was Christmas Eve and, my family always gets together with the extended family. So basically my mom's brothers and sisters, every now and then my dad's brother will show up. He hasn't for a number of years. But I was probably high school, 16, 17 maybe. And it had morphed into kind of what your family did. When I was real young, all the aunts and uncles would buy presents for the kids, something cheap, a little $5 toy or whatever. But with 8 siblings in that family, once all the aunts and uncles started having their own kids, that got pretty expensive. So it became nothing for a while for the kids, then a gift card exchange between the kids and the adults. But
I remember the gift card exchange. Yeah. That was still happening when I was there.
Yeah. But Grandma would always bring presents. That was a guarantee. Grandma was going to bring something for all the grandkids to open up on Christmas Eve. So we all get it and then passing out everyone's presents. And I open mine up, and it's a pair of young woman's slacks.
Oh, how old were you?
16 or 17. And Grandma had started...
I don't feel so bad. That's funny.
Grandma was starting
I thought you were like 6.
Show signs of dementia. So I look at my mom, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with these? She's like, oh, I think that's for your cousin. She goes, maybe your cousin got yours, but no. She just bought 2 pairs of pants for my cousin.
She didn't get you anything?
She thought she got me, but she got my cousin 2 things.
Oh.
So that was an awkward one.
Yeah.
So question 2. What is the weirdest, most uncomfortable gift you ever gave someone else?
Oh, when I gave that, when me and my sister gave that person a Bible for their birthday, that was a Christmas present, and said in the inside of it said, "This is the best present you will ever receive." I want
Hell
to puke
yeah.
right now.
It's
It was
God's
so
word.
like I'm so sad
What
because
more
that's
could you ask
just
for other than salvation in God's word and
my
entrapment
God.
into a system of rules and
Yeah.
imprisonment?
I mean, it was
So-
just like, that's like giving somebody like your religious, like someone who's Muslim giving me a Quran
Yeah.
and being like, this is the best present you'll ever get. Like, you need to convert to,
You know, it's-
I mean, that would be so, I don't know.
I'll tell you that one off the air because it involves people's names. We
Okay.
don't want to
No.
catch strays on random public individuals. So mine, you were part of. This is our first Christmas together, and I'm sitting down in the chaos of your family's Christmas, and I got you a gift
Mm-hmm.
in front of all your brothers and sisters. And let's see, I would have been 19, you would have been 18,
Yeah.
almost 18.
I would have been 8. I would have been, yeah, we started
No, I
dating
just
when I was
turned
18.
20 probably.
Yeah. Yeah, you had just turned 20 that August.
Yeah, and
I
you
was
were
18.
18, almost 19.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting down there absorbing all this chaos, and I'd got you a couple gifts, and you opened up this one. And your parents,
Another robe is involved.
your Christian family and strict Christian father sees you open up a Victoria's Secret box.
Mm-hmm.
And the look on his face and your face, you're like,
I don't know what is in
and I
this
look
box.
up at your dad,
but-
and he's just shooting daggers at me. And I'm like, no, it's nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Were you like, hurry up and open it, bitch?
Yeah. It is a big, long
Get me
robe.
out of this. It was a robe. Oh, God.
That was a little uncomfortable for a few minutes.
Awkward. Yeah. Yep, I can imagine.
Didn't think that went through. So, anywho. So we have that going for us, which is nice. All right.
That was
Some cherished Christian. So did I do all right for picking that out my own?
you did. That was decent. I will give you that.
Even though you said go back to ChatGPT right away.
Okay, I apologize for my behavior.
All right. So let's create the game that I created. And we get to both interact in this one.
Okay.
All right.
And you created this too.
Yes. Let's play
I'm
a
excited.
game.
Okay. I love a game. Okay.
This is a Family Feud style, but instead of finding the answers, we are going to create the
problems.
answers. So we are part of we're in essence the 100 people surveyed. Out of 100 people surveyed, what were their answers?
So we're doing like Family Feud.
We're creating what's underneath the board. We're not guessing it. We're putting the answers up there.
But we don't know what the answers are. We're just thinking we're going to make
making
up
the
what we think should be there.
Yeah, we're going to make up what the answers are.
Okay.
Let me look this one up real quick. I had one saved and another one on my mind if I can remember it. So let's see. Let me go here. This is good audio right here. All right. You are the DJ at a roller rink. And it's Christian night at the roller rink.
Mm-hmm.
What music do you play at Christian night at the roller rink?
Am I doing this as a Christian or am I doing it as not a Christian now?
You're the DJ, the secular DJ.
But I want to pierce those little ears with some doubt.
So I'm thinking one good one would be Marcy's Playground, Sex and
What's that?
Candy.
Okay, you're just trying to like, they're just going to shut down. I'm thinking, let's get them to turn on their critical thinking skills. And you're like, no, let's just scare them away and they'll never come back to the skating rink.
I'm looking for chaos and complaints.
Yeah, so that you can just sit there and laugh. I get that. I get that.
This is a perfect example of our personality differences.
Yeah, it is. It is. I want to help them, and you just want to like traumatize them.
So, what's a song you'd play?
I don't know.
Pony by Genuine.
You can't do that with me. I don't know the names of songs. I have to hear the lyrics.
I'm just a bachelor.
It doesn't sound familiar at all.
Ride it, my pony.
Oh, that. Okay. Is that one that I had the words wrong to? My saddle, jump on it, right?
No, the one you had wrong was Old Town Road, because you were taking the hose to the Old Town whore.
I'm gonna take my hose to the Old Town whore, and I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Have you thought of one of your influential Pearson ears converting these poor Christians over?
I don't want to convert them. I just want to plant seeds of doubt. But Christians hear that and they'll be like, "Oh, you're trying to deceive them." No, plant seeds that make them think for critical thinking. That's the song that came to my mind. I just didn't say it yet.
We can do the one that all the Christian choirs were singing or getting all excited about over the summer. Madonna's Just Like a Prayer.
Like a prayer, yeah.
It's about.
I don't think that really was Christian singing. I think it was getting portrayed that it was churches, but it really wasn't. It was like a concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But Take Me to Church is the one that came to mind that I would, or maybe one of the, there's a lot of new deconstruction people singing really good songs. Or even like there's a song, I can't remember her name, and she's like Rich People. That was a good one. Rich people been fucking us all, basically. It's a really good song.
Well, that's going to traumatize them if you're saying fucking in there.
Yeah, so we can't do that. Unless I push a beeper right over the word, Ooh, you don't want to shut them down because certain things will shut them down immediately.
WAP.
Okay, that would be you. You would
Worship
play that,
and
yes.
Prayer.
You'd say that over the intercom. Every time it says WAP, you'd be like, worship and prayer. So I'm trying to think how the song goes.
Wet ass pussy.
Oh, wet ass pussy. Every time it says that, you'd be like worship and prayer. And they'd keep skating. They'd have no idea.
Yeah, you got all the other 80s and 90s like Running with the Devil.
Oh, Losing My Religion. I don't think I would play those songs, though. A lot of those songs that meant something to me after I started deconstructing, but they didn't cause me to doubt in the middle. I mean, some of their own songs are like, if they actually thought about what they were saying, they might.
I can guarantee you there'd be no Michael W. Smith, no Jars of Clay. And rain will fall for 40 nights.
What song are you singing?
Jars of Clay, Flood.
You could use some of their own songs that was like, that are like simple, like Jesus loves little children, all the children of them, like just basic things, and be like, any of you? Do you get it? Are you doing it?
I'm in Christ Army.
No, that one would definitely not be in it. That's not how that went. That went, I may never fight in the infantry, ride in the cavalry, shoot the artillery. I may never fly over the enemy, but I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir. You sang that song a lot
as
when I was a kid.
As you're marching in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Father Abraham, we sang that so much too.
Yeah. I remember Father. We sang that a lot too.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a Christian version of like
John
what's that
Jacob
song where you put your
Jingleheimer
hands
Smith?
in, put the chicken
Pokey.
song? Yeah, it's kind of like that. like a Christian people's version of that or something. I don't know.
So, all right. Question number 2.
You need 3? Is this the third one?
No, we've just been a DJ so far.
Oh,
now we're going to be a travel agent, and I need you to embrace your devious side.
Oh, God. Okay.
Where would you like to take old Christian friends and family for a vacation, a night out? I'm thinking a drag show would be great for some of them.
Like an event. A drag show. I just went to my first one not too long ago.
If they don't know anything about it, you just have tickets to be like, we're going to this great show. Come get a hold of me. So, then you just show up and it's a drag show. They're like,
I don't think there's a better answer than that one. Because a drag show would be perfect. They are actually really fun, and funny and light, and
they
it's
wouldn't
not
know until they got in what it was. Really, I mean, you could kind of hide it somewhat until the actual performance started.
Yeah, you probably could, because like where we were just at a bar that does it, and they come dancing and stuff, and it was fun and it was a good time. It wasn't like creepy and weird. I'm trying to think if there'd be any better answer than that. Like, I don't know. That's shocking them, obviously. What are you doing?
Oh, it sounds like something upstairs, but
it's the dryer. You might be hearing the dryer.
Okay, that could be it.
Running. Yeah, so I'm just gonna agree with you.
Okay.
Because I can't think of anything
Nothing
more.
else? I was thinking a flamboyant pride parade.
Okay, well, I mean,
you show
that
up
one's going to be a little more shocking. I feel like that one's more shocking because people are so scantily dressed sometimes at those things.
Yeah.
And the word pride, is so offensive to them. But not that drag queen wouldn't be. And they struggle. I don't know. See, and you're wanting to like shove them into like shock, right?
Yeah. Well, expose them for the fears that they have of these things. That they're this.
But and to me, they just shut down. They'll want to run away.
Yeah, they'll want to run away. But if you were able to keep them there, and it would it'd either prove their fears right and they'd change their beliefs, or say, okay, maybe it won't change your beliefs if you go to this thing. I still have the same belief system as I did before I walked in.
Well, and I would, and even if I wasn't being devious and like trying to do that, if it wasn't my devious side, I would be like, come and be a part of my life for a week and watch me live my life as someone who has deconstructed from Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe then they would realize, wow, they, because what's interesting is in their belief system, people like us deserve that they hold this view that we deserve to burn for eternity. We deserve it. And if you live our life with us and you see how we live pretty normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're loving to people. We're kind to people. We work. We eat, we play, we all the basic things. We're not doing anything terrible to anyone. And we deserve.
Yeah.
That helps them go, if they were to stop and ever think about it, because they don't want to believe that. They'll be like, well, no, but, then they have to either just say, well, it's up to God, instead of, because they're up close, what I'm saying? And they realize, It's, and the same with someone who's LGBTQ, which is what you were kind of, if they hung out with them.
Kind of forms of exposure therapy.
Yeah.
Because, there's this wall that they put up from just the fear. And it's unsubstantiated fear because they've never participated or anything like that in it. It reminds me of another one you could do. You could take them on a trip to a big city, Chicago, New York, LA, and go to these places that are being told to us are the worst places in the world. They're war zones with crime and everything else going on. And then just be able to experience that.
And see just normal people working, doing things, go to fun events, that are some they would feel very wholesome, some that, and realize, oh, like just to realize how much people are similar instead of like so afraid of the differences. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like in we are alike in more ways than we are different.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things that humans do that are just very similar to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
yet they are so afraid, like it's some sort of monster.
It's
Some unbeliever, an atheist is like a monster, this scary thing that they can't be around, you know?
yeah. If you could get them, and even if it was tricking them into going to something like that, it exposes the deceit that they've believed and been filled with in their lives. Of
Yeah, they would be challenged, but I
yeah,
don't, the problem is, uh, first of all, the problem would be getting them to these things because
yeah,
they are afraid, so they don't go. The second thing would be they would have to be around it lots of times in order
yeah.
to begin to think about it, because otherwise they have those
Oh yeah,
defenses already built in where it's
yeah,
like doubt.
yeah,
Nope, we can't doubt what
yeah,
God says because they think they are following. They think they're believing the Bible, and they're not. They're believing their interpretation of
yeah.
it.
The first time would be just shock, and they'd be in a flight or fight
Oh
response.
yeah, or shut down. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So you need a few times of doing it, but you could break them down and be like, see, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just when you get around it and see that there's nothing devious, nothing wrong, nothing out of the ordinary with any of the behavior or anything like that, then
Or even if there is, because yes, it's out of the ordinary to them to see two men holding hands or
mm,
kissing. That's out
mhm,
of the ordinary to them. So to them, that's devious. That's evil, right? But to then conclude, like they get to know these people, they get to know that they're human beings with heartaches and struggles and joys and,
mhm,
all of this. And then to actually still hold to the belief that you deserve hell for eternity, like it causes some clash inside them. Like, I don't, that feels wrong. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden
mhm,
now they're questioning the morality of the God that has
mhm,
been man made, but they're in their head, it's the God that exists, right? They're questioning, like, why am I desiring something more moral? Like, don't burn this person forever
yeah,
than this God. And they can either go one of two ways. Maybe there's more options, but they could say, well, God's ways are higher than my ways, so I have to just leave it. And then they can't be real close with you, or they have this, they're confronted with this every time when they get to know this, when they're around this person. So I think the solution is to desensitize in a way, have that exposure therapy. But their systems have created distrust of any system that would put them through some exposure
mhm,
therapy to kind of do that, so that it's almost like you
yeah,
can see how it's a cult so easily when you're
oh yeah,
outside of it.
oh yeah, definitely. So, all right, how'd I do with games?
Those are
You like the
good.
Family Feud questions? Oh,
Yeah.
I get a gold star.
Gold star. You get
Gold
this.
star right up here.
A heart.
Bing. So, um, so the games and all that have nothing to do with the topic
Okay.
whatsoever, because I am going to roll out a topic here that you wanted to talk about. I'm going to give you a bone. Something you mentioned in a previous episode that we should talk more about this. And we're just going to see where this goes. Another
Oh
potpourri
gosh.
of conversations with Dan and Ken, the ADHD approved podcast, where floppy dicks are all over the place.
Okay. All right.
So the question would be is, what does it mean to have a high caliber of man slash woman?
Have we talked about this?
Well, you brought it up. We never really dived deep into it. And we kind
Oh,
of touched on it a little bit because, well, you set it up because it's your question that you had when you were watching your little TV show with, what was it,
my
90 Day
reality TV.
Fiance or Love
No, I
is
think it was Love
Blind?
is Blind. Yeah. Where she was asking, her friends were asking her, is he of your caliber?
Mm-hmm.
Is he able to handle a woman of your caliber or something like
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I was like, a woman Woman of your caliber. I mean, he's as educated as you. He's makes as much money as you at this point. Like, um, like what is the caliber that you have that he is not up to?
And in this situation, it was just on physical appearance.
It was physical appearance. Yes, it was physical. Yeah, that's really what it was. It was based on physical appearance.
Let's attack this and define what these people would consider high caliber.
So what maybe?
Because I think caliber of, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You want to find someone of
caliber is kind of like your standard, a standard.
Yeah, a standard. So it depends.
But it's usually used in a certain way in this kind of context.
Subjective on how it can be used. And in this case, it was. They defined it as you're a beautiful woman, so you need to have these parameters met, which would have been you need to be financially well off, able to provide for you because you're beautiful, be able to take care of all your needs, make you be able to take you on travels and fine dining and everything else because that's what beauty in their world and their measurements equals.
Yeah, and really, when you're talking about and this is used a lot in American culture for sure, but probably there's different ones similar to it in other cultures, but it's like for a woman, the high caliber, when people say a high caliber woman, which I've heard so many times, a lot of times your mainstream is referring to her visual beauty, right? Yeah. And whereas a woman can be visually beautiful, but not in the there's like a stereotype or that's not the right word I'm thinking of. There's like a conventional beauty, right? There's a certain look that you'll see, like if you're at in our high school, there's a certain look. All the boys have a certain look. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, they'll all look the same. All the girls will look kind of the same. They'll wear the hair the same, and it's just like, okay, it's trendy, right? It's the person that's the most, and then the men, it's the high caliber man in that situation would be, he's got to make a lot of money. And, I mean, he can be a little bit out of shape. In these circles, he should be like to them. They want somebody who's like pretty lean, but he can be a little bit out of shape and it still be okay.
A little bit of a dad bod.
She doesn't have much leeway to be out of shape. She's got to be pretty. She's either got to be like hourglass figure or thin. I would say with fake probably areas.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and probably, but I don't know if that's still in.
Look at my dad.
But Gazamba. Yeah, it's not good. I'm like, really? Anyways, so yeah, I say a high caliber to even probably these incels is a certain look of a woman, right?
Yeah, 14.
But they have a different standard, right? She's got to be gorgeous in their eyes.
Incels are like, she's got to be no older than a sophomore in high school.
She's got to be very young.
She's got a jacked up smile. She has to have braces already. So by the time I marry her, that teeth is straightened out.
Is that what he said? Yeah, that's so disgusting. Oh, gross. She's got to be not have a low body count or no body count, right?
Oh, yeah.
Probably no body count would be the highest caliber they could be looking for. So someone with zero experience, zero knowledge of whether he's good and bad or not either. Like, okay, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. She doesn't know. So they want that because they probably suck. And then they want, she's got to want to stay home and care for the children, but got to look good the whole time. She's doing all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yes, the high caliber, it depends on the society or the class that you're in.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was interesting that what they would say is a high caliber woman.
But if you look at relationships, and there's definitely this kind of plan of how relationships work. So, the first part is physical attractiveness, right? You have to you really kind of have to have some sort of attraction to someone in order to initiate
if you're not
a dating
physically,
process.
I don't know. It could work. I mean, I was watching Love is Blind, and sometimes if they don't find them physically attractive, it can come, but it needs to come at some point.
Yeah, because if
you
just
can't
staying
find
on
the person repulsive.
so these people that are worried about the physical or the financial, so it's two-way street, and the guys have their own caliber that they're looking for in women. So it's this look, this figure. You have to have all this and just be quiet, no body count, because you don't even know how bad I am in bed. And if you don't have any experience, you think I'm the greatest in the world.
Yeah.
And that's all you know. This is just how it is. This is what's physical.
I'll tell you what
intimacy.
to think. Yeah.
This is as good as it gets, babe. So enjoy that 15 seconds and we're good,
and be
right?
grateful that you got the best in the world.
Yeah. Most guys are like 8 seconds. I'm pushing 15, so you're blessed. So, but that's, for that, and the woman is, I need to be provided for. I need to have, looks are somewhat important, what I have in mind, but there are some leniency in that, where the other way, there's really no leniency. It's got to be this. And if that's all it's ever based on, that relationship is doomed to fail.
Well, yeah, because the human body doesn't stay the same.
No, it's going to change. Yeah.
Every 7 years, you got completely different cells too. So it's like, you're not the same. Just like a 2-year-old looks very different from a 10-year-old, a 20-year-old looks very different from a 50-year-old.
Yeah.
There might be more similarities, but you look different, and it's part of being human. It's part of being on a planet. That,
be careful. You're starting to sound a lot like Megyn Kelly. 15 is in the
There are physical differences between an 8-year-old and a 15-year-old, but whether you should have sex with them is still the same. You should not. Okay.
So anyway, so you got that, and there's nothing really substantial behind it. Now, when you go on something like Love is Blind, where they're not looking at that, you're kind of going past that first hurdle of physical attractiveness. But as and I've watched some of that with you and all this, it seems like that tends to be still a hurdle once they finally meet each other. Because there's ones that, when they're not seeing each other, you're going to be like, oh, she's not going to like him, or he's not going to like her.
Yeah.
And then when they meet, it's kind of like this.
You can sense it. You can sense there's a something, the energy kind of just gets shifted a little bit, right? But I will say that there have been some where there was one, it was one of the earliest ones of one of the, like, Married at First Sight, maybe it was, where they got married or whatever. She thought she was not attracted to him at all, and like cried, was bawling, and then she gave it a shot. She kept going, and they've now been married for a long time. They have kids, and she's happily married because it grew. And it has to grow at some point. There has to be that physical attraction, I think. Otherwise, I don't think you can be repulsed physically. And I don't know. I'm talking out my ass right now, but I don't know. I just
can you
always
put the
had to be
microphone down there
physically.
then, so we can hear clearer?
You done?
Yeah.
You find yourself funny.
A little bit for a moment. So, there's this, and so there's more to a relationship than just this initial. So when you hear these people talking about caliber of woman, caliber of man, and they're just referring to it, you're like, pretty shallow. There's not a whole lot. Now, I can understand that too if it's 20-year-olds out there, because they haven't had much life experience. And
they are just about the physical appearance at that time until they start to get into more.
I think about us, we were married at 20 and didn't know a ton about each other until we started going. No. And we didn't even know anything about ourselves when we got married. So we just knew what we were supposed to be because everyone told us this is who we were supposed to be. Yeah. And we knew nothing about ourselves. And we didn't learn anything about ourselves for 10, 15 years afterwards.
Mm-hmm. We just filled the roles. We played the roles. And So
there's more. I think there's more to it. So, you look at it, and I think as grizzled old veterans that we are, we look at caliber a little differently. There is
Our
some
standards, would be different for sure.
physical to it, but I think the physical is tied to a lot more, especially in our relationship. The personality really plays up on the physical. Who you are, what kind of person you are, your character, just how you treat each other, your children, your world around you, everything like that plays so much more, and that plays into the physical a lot. I see a lot of ties between that. Because
it can make it, I think it can make the physical attraction stronger or weaker depending on personality, right?
Yeah.
Just like I've known people who have, let's say it's a woman is attracted to a man. He's very handsome, right? Conventionally handsome. Like he fits all the boxes in his physical appearance. But then once they spend a little time with him, his personality is so awful.
Oh.
He's so into himself. She's not a priority to him like that. Then all of a sudden his physical appearance become less and less appealing. So he becomes less attractive.
That's considered classically attractive is Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Even though
there it is. There's a response because you kind of know the personality behind it, or what you've seen. And there's nothing to it. That can really tarnish someone's physical attractiveness.
Yeah. Now, I agree that is true with men. Do you feel it's the same with women?
Oh, yeah. There's some women that people are like, oh, look at, you're like.
Once you get to know them, you're like, oh, I don't like that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot there that.
But people don't, I don't want to say people, because I think a lot of people do still think highly. Men are kind of, it's.
Well, okay.
Men are kind of like, so what I'm trying to say is, some people would say men don't think that and they don't care. They just care about the container and that's all they care about is looks.
That's a prominent thought in the world because you look at people like Tom Cruise.
Goes for like young women, doesn't he?
His co-stars that are female are only in their 30s or 20s. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, he's in his 60s.
Leonardo DiCaprio has never dated a girl over whatever it is, 25.
Like 20.
I think.
Yeah, that's so gross. And he's like our age.
Yeah. So there's men that perpetrate this example. Our president.
Yeah.
Is one.
But you can see what their relationships look like. Yeah. Like, look at the president's relationship with his wife. They're not close. No.
Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, you start listening to how that was going with her.
No, I've never really heard. Like, was he?
It was bad. When that was a lot of religious Scientology.
Yeah.
We're probably going to get canceled and called out now if we start talking about it.
Yeah,
they're coming for us.
Hear this.
but she had a lot of stuff she would talk about going on in there that was bad, and on that,
like he wasn't a great guy behind the scenes.
So that's kind of perpetrated in society that this is what men are like. And we've had this conversation before, and it plays into this mindset that women have a lot of times. So let me mansplain what women think to you a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, this is our conversations we had where you always have kind of worried about, well, I'm going to get older. You're not going to find me attractive. And the conversation we'd have would be like, well, you're going to go after some 20-year-old. And I would, this came up a number of times and finally died off when I came up with the response of, our daughter's 20. I love my daughter. I enjoy spending time with her. But if I were to be with someone that had the same mindset, mentality as my daughter, I could only spend so much time with them because our mental maturity is at such different levels. There would be nothing that really brought us together.
So how do these guys do this then?
I think they.
Well, I think the guys are shallow. They haven't grown a whole lot.
They're mental
not mature.
And trust me, we know plenty of them in our own lives that haven't matured You know, they peaked in high school and they're maintaining that peak as much as they can.
Yeah.
They're
And
still,
it's just like, it's so obvious to everybody, like, okay, yeah, you're not maturing anymore. You're stuck in the past,
and there's a
and
lot
it
of
looks
guys. I think
sad
there's a lot of guys that get stuck in mental
because the
immaturity.
culture tells them that there is, back to the beginning when we were talking about the caliber of man that the world would kind of push at people. Christianity kind of pushes at people something similar, but it is like a man's strength, which is in his youth, and his physique looking, but the difference is a man's kind of changes and grows as long as he can make money.
I think that's
what
the
I'm
key
saying?
right there is change and grow.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, like, a man doesn't necessarily, women want that now. They really do. And they've always wanted it, but I think now there's just language for it. But like, there's a lot of men that they get older, they change physically is what I meant. Like they'll get pot bellies and they lose their hair and everything. And now it's like,
why are you coming after me? Oh, that's a good
but
look.
it's like, that's considered,
why are you coming after
a
me?
dad bod. Doing? That's considered like a dad bod. A dad bod is attractive, but a mom bod, no.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
About that.
I know, but that's what the culture does. Like, if you have a mom bod, you've let yourself go.
But that's the patriarchy taking over everything.
It is. It's disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's where that caliber idea, of a caliber has come in. But what I think we're saying is there's different ideas of caliber. Like, what is your standard? Instead of using caliber, what's your standard for, and maybe we just say what ours are today. Like, to me, what I would tell, like, my daughters or sons or whoever is looking for a partner in a man.
Let's switch just a little bit and analyze this a little bit and finish off with this. Because I think there's definitely a problem in our society where men do not mature mentally past a certain spot. There's so many people that we know and encounter that what they did in high school or college or whatever, they're still there and acting the same way as they are now in their 40s and 50s. There hasn't been much growth in anything. And I think that might be a cause of the patriarchy, because there is no challenge to a man to grow, to get better. This is the peak masculinity, 33 years old, right? I've heard that before. This is when the man's at his strongest, his most endurance.
They're going off of when they think Jesus died.
Well, yeah.
That is what they're doing.
They're saying it's scientific that this is the peak, and after that age, you start to see the decline come down.
Like physically, maybe, yeah.
So, got to maintain that. So we're going to stay there, and we'll always be there. And men can kind of do that pretty easily because we don't have to go through childbirth and menopause and all this stuff. So, as long as we keep working out and pushing it, we can kind of do that. Yeah, the knees may get a little creaky, the elbow may get a little sore, and we may lose a step, but we can still kind of maintain this image of going on. So it's easier for us. So we don't challenge ourselves to grow and mature or expand into the world around us, because the patriarchy
they think they're growing and maturing because they're keeping their body in shape. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all they got to do.
All they're doing is keeping their body the same. So there's no change or anything in that either. They're fighting change. They're fighting growth of a belly.
Okay, now you're trying to say, right? I mean,
peak
I get it.
Like, right here.
Yeah, you sound like Trump. Yes, I get it. Like, I think.
So I think because of the patriarchy, there's no challenge to a man. Because I look at myself, okay, and I'm going to toot my own horn. All right, so we'll put that little image in there. Where as I got older, I picked up new hobbies and new interests and new things to do. So I started growing and changing in there, which opened my perspective in different areas, even though it was something that you may not have seen as a potential of expanded. It made my mind work. It made me look at things differently and see something from a different angle or whatever, which only can help in other areas of life. So it's easier for you to come in and say, hey, this idea you got on what I should be doing around here in the house, let's talk about this. My mind's already been elastic enough to be able to be like, okay, I can have this conversation.
I can approach this, and think about it. Yeah.
Guys that haven't done anything are still doing the same things they did when they're 50 as they did when they were 28, don't have that plasticity in their brains. So when someone comes and challenges them, I don't know. It's just a thought. I don't know if it just came to me, if there's anything to it.
No, I think that there's something to that they do not have to consider other perspectives. Also, because we know that the patriarchy and Christianity are kind of tied to one another. They are tied together, right?
Yeah.
They have it all figured out. Man's at the top. He's a boss. You know what I'm saying? They think that this is what the Bible is, that they think the Bible is the exact words of God, and then they think their interpretation is the exact way it should be read. And so they have it all figured out. They don't have to be open to interpretation or understanding in any of those areas. They've got it figured out. So there's no challenge, right? Life kind of becomes quite boring too. So yes, of course, you can understand why, as their wife ages, first of all, they are also under the society is pressing on them. First of all, make a lot of money, because that gives you your value. But also, you're having a young woman, because they've been taught that women in their youth are the superior, right?
Yeah.
And so they're going to go for that because they want to feed that ego, right? The ego starts to go, oh, I'm getting closer to death. I'm a loser. I'm nothing, especially if you're, not feeling good and kind of going through a midlife crisis, maybe that's when you might do those kinds of things, right? Because you're trying to boost that ego back up so it feels good again. If you feel like you're on top, because you've passed those years, and a woman has hers too, where a lot of times she'll just be like, I'm not putting up with this man anymore, because then she starts to reject the patriarchy. If she locks into it more, that's when facelifts come in, boob jobs, that kind of stuff. She's trying to keep the youth as much as possible because that's what she's told. And that's really probably what's going on. So the patriarchy is hurting everybody.
Yeah.
But I think that there is, like, you're right, they're not challenged, and they also are like, they don't read. That's one of that thing kind of blows my mind a little bit, that men, a lot of times, and men and women, because I remember loving to read as a kid. I still love to read, but there was a chunk of time where I didn't read very much. And it was because I thought it's not,
aren't attractive.
Pretty much. It's probably what was going. It was probably a subconscious program that had been implanted in some way. And so I just the only book I did read was the Bible. And books help you see other perspectives of people that maybe you don't have access to get to know. If you read, you can see behind their eyes and see what they see when they look at the world, or how people interact with them, especially just these different stories, that, like biographies, autobiographies, those kind of books where someone's telling their story. Those are interesting. But also there's a lot of, I feel like the guys that they'll say they do read, like these incels maybe say they read, right? But they're reading,
you're
like,
about performative males.
No, they won't read like that, where, I don't know, maybe they do read those books. Or when they're just trying to appear a certain way. I get that. But I'm saying, like, the books they're reading are like how to, work harder, how to work smarter. You know what I'm saying? It's all about
it's the Cosmo,
money.
The Cosmo for men. 10 things that'll make her flip on her head.
Or something like that. Yeah. Just
10
like,
tricks to get that first date kiss.
well, and I heard a really interesting thing. I just want to share this here. It was Trevor, what's his name? Trevor, you know what I'm
Noah?
talking about? Yeah, Trevor Noah. He said something really interesting in this post that I saw. He said that men, they have found that men, it's not necessarily, you know how men are told like it's sex they need. They want sex all the time, right? And he's like, it's not really sex. It's intimacy that they're craving. They're craving like closeness, and they can't like, and then I was reading in the comments, and one woman said she went on like a date. She matched with somebody on a app, and she goes on this date with the guy, and he really didn't want to, he wasn't into like trying to have sex or anything. They're sitting there watching a movie, and she's looking at him, and she reaches over and she grabs his hand, and he just starts bawling and just weeping, like probably because he hadn't had touch, just like close touch. He never tried to like take it further or anything. And she's like, I hope that he found somebody that he can feel safe with. She's like, and people were like, he probably will always remember you too, creating that moment.
Yeah.
Like maybe he went and got therapy but I think men don't have that. Like, where do men go? I know that you have me, you know what I'm saying now, but let's go back a little ways, like a couple decades ago, and to just pour out your heart. Where are you going? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have that. And I think that is something that men are missing, because they can't necessarily. In the churches, did you have it? Or
not where I grew up.
Well, like, you know how you had accountability buddies or whatever in Christianity? Was that somewhat like it?
No, that was strict accountability. So,
did they force you to, like, was it like confession? Like you have to come up with some sin that you've committed?
No, it was just more checking off
like
boxes.
Okay, so you couldn't go in and say like, hey, I feel like let's say, because you were probably at that point, there was probably some times in there where you're like, I'm in this job and I just absolutely hate it, but I feel trapped. I have to provide. And
it wasn't. And honestly, the groups, I think if you were in a group that met for years, you'd start getting some of that, emotional into it. The groups I were in, I think the longest I was in, one was maybe a year. So someone would share a story like that, trouble at work, and then it would just be jokes.
Yeah.
About it, and that was kind of how you dealt with it. That's just how we dealt with things. The accountability. You had your list. Did you do this week? Did you do this week? Did you do this week? All right, you checked it off.
So the emotional side of you, of a lot of men, they're not getting it. Yeah. And that's just, and instead that's where I think like relationships.
But think about in the church, think about in politics, and this relates to the church. Why can't we have a woman president?
Because they say she's emotional, which is,
and especially if she's on her period, it's probably start World War III.
I think women can handle their emotions way better than men. Men punch things. Yeah, because women have been taught, like they've had to learn how to
deal with emotions,
manage them, because they know how to feel them, and they have, and they're also constantly told you're emotional or whatever. And we have to go with the fluxes of our hormones all the time. We're not going flipping off the handle. And if someone is, because that does happen, I had my moments like that, but then I had to learn how to regulate it. You have to, that's something that is part of maturing. Yeah. But if you're never allowed to experience the emotions, or even, I think even to this day, you still struggle with some feelings because they're so foreign, and it's just like, so you'll crack a joke to just not feel it. I like, you kind of want to run away from it because you don't realize, like, in the feeling of it, you'll get through it, and I know you know that.
I think about people at work that are emotionally unregulated, or people I've dealt with in life. it's not, we don't say, well, they're emotionally unregulated. It's like, well, they're a dick that, short fuse. Just watch out. Don't set them off. And that's how
And
we
it's
deal with
probably
it.
because anger is the only emotion that a man is a lot of times allowed to feel
And
or express. I mean,
and they weren't allowed to deal with anything like that because, that's feminine. Don't do that.
Yeah.
So,
well, and that's one things that Trevor Noah said. He said, you can't even say, like, men can't say, I love you to each other. You got to be like, I love you, dog, or something like that. You can't just be like, I love you. It sounds too like it creeps them out.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's kind of true. You have to kind of change the language because you don't want to sound a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And you're humans and you need that. I don't know. Just thought it was interesting and something to have people think about. And then maybe those spaces need to be provided in some way where men can feel like they can express real emotions.
Younger generations, it's starting to be provided more.
Yeah, I think so.
Our generation, it wasn't.
And our generation tends to mock them for doing that, though, for feeling feelings.
Yeah, some of them. I think
and the
we're
boomers.
Kind of that transition
Not
group.
us, but we are transition. But there are a lot of Gen X that think, you just suck it up, and it's like,
and
guys, we didn't turn out just great because of the way we were raised. There's a lot of problems.
We all know who they voted for too.
That's probably true, actually.
So, anywho, but yeah, I think there's a lot of issues that deal with that through the patriarchy and everything else that's just repressed a lot of growth and everything else.
Is that a message that you have to go?
Yeah, I'm trying to tell. He's trying to get out of going to the trainer, and I'm like, well, it's going to be a minute to go.
I'll text him.
He's got to poop.
Okay, I don't think you need to say that on air.
That's why he wants to come home.
Everybody poops, but you know what I'm saying.
He's really hungry and need to.
I'm sure he is.
Pee and poop. That's what he said.
Okay. I'm sure he doesn't want you reading that on air, but whatever.
Yeah, I'll make sure I send it to all his friends.
Transparency here.
Yeah. So anyways, I think there's a lot to deal with the patriarchy, which I think is a big contributor to the calibers that are out there. Because what sets the caliber? It's the patriarchy.
Yeah.
The ideal for women, this man is financially secure. The ideal physical peak is an older man.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're getting married in your 20s, that's not the ideal. What are you going to look like in 15, 20 years? Well, that's easy to ascertain, Hey, we're married now. You're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what I turn
that is
into.
true. And a man to get to that financial state, it takes a little bit, right? Yeah. He's not going to be there in his 20s.
No, it's
so
all
that is
gonna
interesting
be there.
how that's set up. It's all set in the advantage of the man.
Women are invested in the future.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that is true. And the man wants to, he's invested in
maintain
the past at some point. She has to maintain it. Yeah. And so and that sets up it's a disaster for marriages because people then, and it's also the caliber revolves around our sexuality rather than the intimacy that we can have in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So it does kind of tie to what Trevor Noah was talking about. Like, there comes a point, I'm sure.
Trevor Noah.
Why? Because I'm talking about him.
You just keep bringing him up in front of your husband
because he made a good point
all the time.
Today, just in this video, I don't hardly ever bring up Trevor Noah, though I do like some of the stuff he. Do you have some insecurities we need to talk about?
Just brought him up again.
Are we done?
Katie's like, I invested in the future and I've lost.
It did not pay off.
Now I'm stuck. Hopefully I can recoup something and break even here, but I don't know. It's not looking good. It's a bear market in my.
You're done. Done?
So, anyways, yes. Anything else you'd like to add to this?
I just want to say, we need to figure out what our own caliber is.
Yeah.
You know, I want someone who's emotionally mature. I want someone who can
Trevor
take
Noah.
life lightly
Trevor
and
Noah.
also take it seriously.
You're describing
Okay.
Trevor Noah.
He's like, what, 30 some? He's a baby. I mean, he has great intellect. He's like, he thinks about things in a very good way. So I do like that. I find that attractive. There's nothing wrong with
Oh,
that.
man.
Okay.
I'm in trouble, folks.
Oh, yeah, because Trevor Noah would want this old lady.
Trevor Noah
Oh my
would
God,
be
can you
sitting in this
stop?
chair next week.
Our podcast would be doing amazing if that was the case. Do you think we'd still have this background? Or would it be a little higher
No,
caliber?
you're done. Now you're done. Now you struck a low blow.
Anyways, so the patriarch is screwing us all, and we've got to figure out how to like change what the caliber is. The caliber cannot just be based on physical beauty. Physical beauty can play a role in attraction, yes, and I think it does.
Yeah.
But if it's the only one, or if it's even the main one, you're going to have problems later on, because the physical beauty, it can grow. Like you can see old people that are they're not conventionally attractive anymore, right? But they're beautiful to you because they're just beautiful people.
Yeah.
And so you're drawn to them. So there has to be more substance that draws people together than just physical looks, because that doesn't last.
No.
And then it ends up cold, kind of a cold relationship. But anyways,
That's experienced in the White House now.
yeah, I mean, that is who comes to mind first and foremost, is that I know some men think that's what they want, but I'm telling you, they would be very unhappy. He's not happy in his marriage, for sure. He's not. But it's a transaction. That's what their marriages are.
Yeah.
It's not love. So anyways, I guess that's it.
All right. Well,
thoughts just dropped. That's it. No more.
It happens.
I can't think of any more.
So if you're listening on YouTube or whatnot, go up and like, subscribe, and follow. We appreciate that. If you got a minute, leave us a comment too. We love seeing comments and all that from you. If you're listening on a podcast streamer, give us 5 stars. That helps us out greatly, pushes us out, and more people can see us. And if you got a moment, leave us a comment there too. Again, we are attention whores. We love to hear you from you and just enjoy it thoroughly. So
we just
the
like
more
to know
attention
that
you can give to us, the better.
Okay. That's
spotlights on us.
No, we just like to hear from people and know that people are listening.
Go down below. We got a bunch of links and stuff down below for you, so you can get in touch with us through everything we're doing. The main link is danandcan.com, which is down there. Take a look, pop into that. Some of the links that we broke out from that are on there too. Candy's hypnotherapy and all that, so you can get in there and look on that. So click on them. Yeah, we appreciate it. And hey, let's bring that patriarchy down, because the caliber of the patriarchy is pretty shitty. There's more to everything outside.
And that's causing a lot of our problems. So stop believing in that caliber and find your own.
Yep. So let's start. Right. Viva la revolution.
Okay. Love you. Bye. Do you think we'd still marry each other today?
Yeah.
If we met each other, would we?
Oh, yeah. It'd be like, dang.
The way you said it was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not convinced.
Well, I'd have to fight against Trevor Noah.